Turkey is one of those countries that seems to have it all. Ancient cities carved from stone, dazzling coastlines, surreal landscapes, and some of the most flavorful food on earth. But most travelers only scratch the surface, sticking to places like Istanbul, Cappadocia, or the beaches of Antalya. This video is about everything they're missing. We're going far beyond the tourist trail to uncover 10 of Turkey's most beautiful, culturally rich, and criminally underrated destinations. These aren't just alternatives, they're destinations that can stand on their own, with incredible architecture, jaw-dropping natural scenery, and deep-rooted histories that go back thousands of years. From a castle-topped city in the mountains to a forgotten capital of ancient empires, this is a side of Turkey you probably haven't seen. Each place on this list has very little coverage online, which makes them perfect for travelers looking to explore something new, and for travelers looking for that next stunning destination. Whether you're a history buff, a foodie, a photographer, or someone who simply loves uncovering hidden corners of the world, you're about to discover a whole new side of Turkey. Let's dive in. We begin our journey in Bitlis, a mountain city wrapped in mist, history, and a sense of mystery. Built into the steep sides of a narrow valley, Bitlis has an almost medieval feel. Ancient stone bridges cross glacial streams and domed mosques rise above narrow alleys. Bitlis is one of those places that feels untouched by time. It's predominantly Kurdish, and the cultural identity here is strong, from the traditional tea houses to the folk music that sometimes drifts through the streets. Nature is another draw. Nearby, Nemrut Crater Lake offers otherworldly volcanic landscapes and hidden hot springs. It's a surreal place for hiking, camping, or simply reflecting on how far off the tourist trail you've come. Despite its historical richness and natural beauty, Bitlis sees very few visitors. That's part of its magic. You won't find crowds, overpriced tours, or tourist shops. What you will find is authenticity, something increasingly rare in the world of travel. Bitlis is for the adventurous, the curious, and the travelers who want to see Turkey from a completely different lens. It's raw, real, and incredibly rewarding. Tucked along the Black Sea coast, Amasra is a town of breathtaking charm and old-world allure. It's the kind of place you stumble upon and wonder why no one's talking about it. The town is built on a rocky peninsula, surrounded by dramatic cliffs and the ever-changing waters of the Black Sea. You'll find a small harbor filled with fishing boats, winding stone paths, and the ruins of an ancient castle that still guards the coastline. One of the town's most iconic features is the Culinary Bridge, a Roman-era arch that connects two tiny islands just off the mainland. Walk across it during sunset, and you'll feel like you're walking into a painting. Amasra's old town is filled with cobbled streets, flower-draped balconies, and cozy seafood restaurants that serve the catch of the day. It's a place where time slows down, and that's exactly the point. If you're looking for a peaceful coastal town that hasn't been transformed by mass tourism, Amasra is a gem waiting to be discovered. If you're a foodie, this next destination is going to make your mouth water. Welcome to Gaziantep, Turkey's culinary capital and a UNESCO creative city of gastronomy. This city doesn't just serve good food, it lives and breathes it. Known for its mastery of flavors, Gaziantep is home to over 250 types of dishes, including the world-famous baklava. But don't stop there. You'll find pistachio-stuffed kebabs, fiery mezes, and rich lamb stews, each layered with centuries of culinary tradition. The city itself is a blend of old and new. Its bustling bazaar district feels like a time capsule, filled with copper workshops, spice vendors, and steaming food stalls. You can easily spend a day wandering through the alleys, sampling everything in sight. One of the highlights is the Zugma Mosaic Museum, which houses some of the world's most exquisite ancient mosaics, including the haunting Gypsy Girl. Despite being one of Turkey's largest cities, Gaziantep remains largely off the radar for international tourists. That's surprising, given the sheer sensory overload it offers, from the vibrant street life to the intoxicating smells of roasting nuts and grilling meats. If you love food, history, and culture, and want all three in a city that hasn't been taken over by influencers, Gaziantep is a destination you'll never forget. Şanlıurfa, also known as the City of Prophets, is believed to be the birthplace of Abraham and is steeped in religious and historical significance. The centerpiece of Şanlıurfa is Bitlis, or the Pool of Sacred Fish, where legend says Abraham was thrown into fire by King Nimrod. Instead of burning, the fire turned to water and the wood to fish. Today, the pool is a peaceful, almost surreal spot surrounded by gardens, mosques, and colonnaded walkways. But there's more to Şanlıurfa than mythology. Just outside the city lies one of the most groundbreaking archaeological discoveries of our time, Göbekli Tepe. Dating back to 9600 BCE, it's considered the world's oldest temple and has completely rewritten our understanding of human civilization. Back in the city, you'll find a rich blend of Arab, Kurdish, and Turkish cultures. The food here is also next level. Don't miss the local specialty Urfa kebab. Şanlıurfa is hot, intense, and deeply spiritual. It's the kind of place that leaves a lasting impression, not just for its historical weight, but for its vibrant street life, heartfelt hospitality, and sense of ancient continuity. If you want a destination that's equal parts sacred and surreal, Şanlıurfa should be on your list. Located just off Turkey's western coast in the Aegean Sea, Bozcaada is a tranquil island that's still relatively under the radar. With whitewashed homes, cobblestone streets, and a thriving wine scene, this place feels like the Greek islands. But with a uniquely Turkish soul, Bozcaada Castle dominates the harbor with a majestic presence, and from its ramparts you can take in panoramic views of the vineyards, the town, and the sea. This island is all about slow travel. People bike instead of drive, meals stretch into hours, and time itself feels optional. The beaches here are pristine. Amasra Beach, with its powdery sand and sparkling blue water, is a local favorite. Step into Safranbolu, a UNESCO World Heritage Site and one of the best-preserved Ottoman towns in Turkey. It's like walking through a living history book. Safranbolu's charm lies in its authenticity. Think whitewashed, timber-framed houses, narrow cobbled lanes, and centuries-old caravanserais that once hosted Silk Road traders. It's a feast for architecture lovers and cultural explorers alike. Wander the old bazaar and you'll find artisans crafting copper pots, spice sellers hawking saffron, and tiny shops selling Turkish delight made from century-old recipes. You can visit the Sinsi Han, a beautifully restored caravanserai, or relax in the historic hammam next door. What makes Safranbolu really stand out is how everything feels untouched by time. The town sits in a green valley framed by hills, offering incredible views if you take a short hike to the overlook. Despite its cultural richness, Safranbolu remains surprisingly quiet. It gets domestic tourism, but few international visitors, which means you'll often have the place to yourself. It's the perfect setting for those who appreciate slow travel and cultural depth. Next, we travel northeast to Kars, a city that blends Russian imperial architecture, snowy landscapes, and ancient ruins in one unforgettable package. Kars feels different from the rest of Turkey. Its buildings have a stark European look thanks to a century of Russian rule. Broad streets and stately stone buildings create an atmosphere that feels part Siberia, part steppe. But the real treasure lies just outside the city, Ani, the abandoned medieval city perched on the edge of a dramatic canyon. Once the capital of the Armenian kingdom, Ani is filled with the remnants of cathedrals, mosques, and monasteries, most of them in ruins but still profoundly beautiful. Kars also marks the endpoint of the iconic Eastern Express train route, which winds through central Turkey's breathtaking countryside. It's a dream journey for any slow travel enthusiast. Add in some delicious local cheese and the honey from nearby highland pastures, and you've got a rugged, rewarding stop in Turkey's Far East. Van, in eastern Turkey, is a lakeside city surrounded by snow-capped mountains and ancient secrets. Lake Van is the largest in Turkey, and one of the most picturesque bodies of water in the region. Its crystal-clear waters and volcanic backdrop make for some truly breathtaking panoramas. In the middle of the lake lies Akdamar Island, home to a stunning 10th-century Armenian cathedral built from pink stone. In Van City itself, the old castle offers sweeping views of the water and the surrounding plains. It's a favorite sunset spot, and, more often than not, it's just you and the breeze. Van is also known for its breakfast culture. Local tables overflow with dozens of small plates, herbed cheese jams, olives, and fresh breads, making morning meals feel like a real celebration. This city is off the typical tourist path, but that's exactly what makes it special. It's untouched, authentic, and an incredible gateway to Eastern Turkey's wild beauty. Amasya is a jewel of the north. It's tucked into a narrow river valley and crowned by dramatic cliffs and ancient tombs. The Yeşilırmak River cuts through town, flanked by Ottoman-era mansions that reflect perfectly in the water. Looming above, carved into the rock face, are the tombs of ancient Pontic kings. Illuminated at night, they give the city this kind of mythical glow. The whole place feels cinematic. Wooden balconies hang over the water, stone bridges link both sides of town, and cafes spill into the narrow lanes. Once a royal seat for Ottoman princes, Amasya has been continuously inhabited for over 7,500 years. It's rich in both history and serenity, quiet, elegant, and far from the tourist crowds. And finally, we arrive at Mardin, a city like no other. Draped over a hill in southeastern Turkey, Mardin overlooks the endless plains of Mesopotamia and seems to glow with its golden stone architecture. Every rooftop in Mardin is a viewpoint. From above, the city's maze of flat-roofed homes, churches, and mosques melt into the horizon. When the sun sets, the entire town is bathed in amber light. Mardin is one of the few places where multiple cultures and religions coexist visibly in a single skyline. Assyrian monasteries, Islamic minarets, and Armenian churches are all just steps apart. Key sites include the Great Mosque of Mardin and Deirul Zafaran Monastery, one of the oldest in the world. The best part is just wandering. Every alley reveals something new: stone arches, carved doors, the scent of spice and bread baking in tiny ovens. Mardin is raw, beautiful, and deeply spiritual. It's not just a place you visit, it's a place you feel. So there you have it, 10 hidden gems in Turkey that deserve way more attention than they get. From the misty cliffs of Bitlis to the golden stone glow of Mardin, each of these places offers something different, something deeper than your average destination. We believe the best travel stories begin where the guidebooks end. These destinations aren't just beautiful, they're meaningful. They show you a side of Turkey most people never see, a side full of texture, soul, and surprises. If this inspired your next adventure, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Let us know in the comments which of these cities surprised you the most, or if you've already visited one of them. Until next time, happy travels!